Summer.
Yes.
18-foot single axle bunk family van.
That's
with,
a pretty good size.
But with
yes.
a separate shower and toilet, not a combo shower and toilet.
Yeah, because most vans that are this size, you have to doo-doo where you clean yourself, and that doesn't seem like that clean.
It seems like a good idea to save space, but once you've had one, you would never want one again.
Efficiency is key, but not.
Yes. Also, the other thing 18-foot family bunk vans miss out on is storage. And this has a bunch of inside storage on the inside, being inside storage, and outside a ton, not quite a ton of storage.
Close though, it's like 740
kilos of payload because it's only 2260 kilos. That's what it weighs empty, and you rate it up to 3 ton.
Teamwork.
So if you have a 3-ton tow vehicle or you want it to have lighter, this is the van.
Yeah.
Because it's super capable, Prados, MUXs, any of these lighter tow vehicles.
You don't want to spend a fortune upgrading.
Yep.
And you still want to be able to take a van where you can have all the things you want to bring, but still be really comfortable with the family and with the kids. This is definitely the van for you. It's really rugged. It's super good looking, as you can see. And we've made some great upgrades from our previous models, which we're really sorry that it's taken us this long to upgrade our videos, but we've been really busy. So
busy making upgrades.
Give us the break, all right? Calm down, okay? We know.
So this van is great, not only because it's lightweight, actually super capable being a single axle. You can get in amongst all those trees, get down to the river, get down to the beach. Yeah, like in this sort of area. So very easy for that. If you wanted to go to camper trailer kind of spots, this would be the type of van that would get to those spots. The things to watch out for would be low-hanging branches because the camper trailer is much lower. Other than that, you're probably going to be pretty right to get in those areas. And I love going those spots. So
you've done it. Trevor's done it in this van with the 3 kiddos and the missus.
Yeah.
And went to some really cool spots. So.
Well, we'll take our motorbikes in the back of our ute, and those spots we do want to get in amongst the trees because that's where we want to ride our motorbikes. And this sort of size van is exactly what that's made for.
So let's get stuck in at the front of the van as usual.
I might just jump in one thing real quick.
Please.
So this is made on site, 1600 Sydney Road, Campbellfield in Victoria. Come and see us. Great spot, dealerships there, manufacturing can walk you through.
In-house design engineers, everything we do for a purpose. All of our products, all of our design, why we change things, it's all because there's a purpose. Because we go camping, so we know the things that frustrate you frustrate us, and that's why we make our vans better.
Let's show you through.
Yeah, so while we're going to the front, talk about the construction, Trev.
So the roof is made of a panel, which is we call it a composite panel. It's a fiberglass foam fiberglass, one piece. And where that's really handy is a lot of the heat in summer will come through the roof. And the insulation properties of that panel is significantly better. So you're going to save on a lot of the heat coming through. You still get some through the walls and the floor. Those are insulated as well. So the walls are structural timber plywood.
All CNC cut.
All CNC cut in-house. And then we fill that with foam as well for the cutouts.
Yeah, so it's a foam panel insulation.
Yeah, so that's pretty solid. And then we've got a galvanized chassis. So that's a steel chassis, super strong, made in Melbourne as well. And this is a full off-road capable van. So
we only do off-road.
We only do off-road, yeah.
We love off-road.
So this is a DO35. So this coupling is a articulating hitch, so it'll move side to side and up and down. So that's going to take in all those lumps and bumps and undulations that you will go through, like riverbeds and things like that. There's not going to be that pressure on the van. Yeah, that's pretty cool. What else we got?
The breakaway, so if the van becomes uncoupled from the tow vehicle, it comes nice and safely to a halt. You're not going to be that guy on the road.
That will bring the brakes on the van to stop it.
Yeah.
Yep. It's got, I mean, it has to break through these massive chains. So
yeah, that'd be impressive if it did.
Yeah, it's been pretty hard to do it, but it is on there. You got your handbrake, your 90-degree jockey wheel.
Yep.
So that makes it easy to do that.
Stone mesh guard, behind the stone mesh guard, 2 9-kilo gas bottles, and a tray below for your solo hoses or perhaps your leads if you want to store them there. And then also behind that, we have protected here behind this checker plate is our water tap, so you can rinse off your Tootsies if you want, or your gumboots. We've got a 5-kilo diesel tank for...
5 kilo? It's a heavy one.
5 liters.
5 liters.
Words.
5 litre, so that's a 5 litre stainless steel tank and then we cover it with the checker plate to make it all nice.
Yeah, just because it looks good.
So that's
standard.
Standard. So that diesel heater with 5 litres will last multiple weeks in winter, no dramas. So it's 5 litres lasts a long time for that.
Yeah. Let's go around to that side if you can show them the slide out tray. So it's identical on this side, but on that side there's a 12-volt point. So if you want to pop a fridge in there, you can strap it down with the tie-down points, plug in your 12-volt. If you want to put an Anderson plug, we can swap that 12-volt point cigarette lighter style to an Anderson as well. Dust caps on the doors.
This will fit quite a good size fridge. So the fridge I like the most in this is a Engel 41 litre. You can fit a larger fridge. I fitted a 70 litre fridge from Mike Ullman.
Yeah.
But my preference was the Engel. It was a good size and just a great quality fridge.
If you fit a 70 litre, that's a good.
It took up the entire space.
But when you're trapping potatoes, it is handy. So dust caps on it. All in all, we've done well in here. So
I made that look harder than it is. Oh, here's a good thing. So this van has a full length, it's like a king length bed for master bed, which gives you your 2 full size tunnel boots, which is awesome.
I like this because you can have like your dirty stuff, tables, chairs, sand mat, all that stuff on one side, fishing rods, and then you can have the stuff that you want to stay a bit more clean and separated on the other side.
Well, or if you wanted to put a slide out kitchen in, which there's so many types.
We can help you with that.
We have a bunch of them, but there's so many types to look at. You can put them in either one of these. So, and then with like they normally would take, depending on one, maybe half or more of the tunnel boot space. Whereas, so if you normally would have only 1 tunnel boot, so when you're taking up half that space, it's okay.
But it's valuable real estate.
But when you have 2, you have ample amount of outside storage as well as your kitchen in there.
So many options.
Yeah.
Above that, if you do have a slide out, we have our 2-way lights out here, annex lights. So, well, there's 3. There's 3 2-ways. They both go white and amber. The amber is the bug off lights that we like to call them. I think we should trademark that, bug off.
So the orange.
Only we say that.
The orange or amber is used for when it's dark, because the amount of bugs that are attracted to white lights is incredible.
As you would know.
Yeah. So the white section you'd normally use kind of dusk and dawn, where actually it's quite hard to see in that kind of the sun's dimming. Other than that, the orange lights are amazing.
Way to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, heaps of space. Great awning. So we've gone with a new awning that is it's simple to use. For me, if I've ever gone camping alone, which for work I do from time to time, so to put out the awning by myself, this is honestly the easiest awning that we've ever used. And largely due to this big handle that you've got here to get your leverage, as opposed to that little silver ridiculous fish hook thing that you had to use before. Yeah. If you've got little bitch hands like I do, it was hard to use. But honestly, I can do this in...
You have a little mouth too.
These are our new awnings that we've been using this year, and what we like about them is that they're really, really easy to use. And by that, I'm talking about normally this handle replaces that little fish hook that you used to have to use. Yeah,
a lot of the handles are very hard to use in your hand. Also,
especially when you got little bitch hands like I do. Little tiny paws.
The other thing is actually there's a dial back here that you need to, when your arm goes out, you tighten it up. And actually on the, I think all the other awnings, if you don't tighten that
you had a dial
during travel, you'll lose it. And then you get to where you're going and you don't have the dial to hold the arm out. So this one actually, even if you left it loose, it can't come out. It's great. So yeah, super easy to use awning.
Let's show them.
Okay.
I got you this for Christmas.
So there's like a little lever, pull down a little lever, and then...
We're gonna find... All right, Trevor's gonna use his big, strong arms.
my vegan muscles.
And yeah, so if you can just, how easy it is to put up. Viola. I wish they saw the outtake that just happened, but.
Okay, awning's great.
Yep.
Double entry step standard. And we love this because actually a lot of steps cannot take the weight. They'll flex and bow and bend and they're just not that nice to use. And every time you're going in and out of the van.
And they're hard to put, well, when I say hard, they're like kind of
Other ones,
Stiff
these
and
ones are
awkward to
not.
put in and out.
Yeah, these ones are great. You got the blue light here, which you can just turn on and off from the switch. Which is a great little light, and then you've got the handle light here, which you can turn on and off as well. Yeah, separate the door.
Security.
Security. So these are meant to be a midgie screen, but if you've been around midgies before, you'll know nothing's really midgie proof.
That's like saying that when you're at home, when you've got toddlers, that you're safe if you go to the bathroom. You're not safe.
So it's got a hard, like a strong mesh, and then like a soft mesh over the top. And you can lock this door. So if you're going to head out for a little bit, put one of the airflow through, you can leave that locked. You got a picnic table, which just drops down. You don't need keys for this. A few of the picnic tables on the market, you do need to use a key to
actually. It's kind of annoying though, isn't it?
It is. Well, you don't have your key on you to go and do it, whereas this is just a little handle. So they're great.
And it's one of those things like, why is there a key there? Who's going to steal what's not behind the door?
It's not for that. It's just that's the latch they chose to use.
Yeah,
of course, well, there's nothing behind the door.
Not anybody that caravans. I digress.
You have a TV mount bracket, so you can move your TV, 24-inch smart TV. So you can move that from inside and outside to where you want to use it.
Way better than a dumb TV.
Way better. So you got 12-volt points here, which is a cigarette point and USB. Like and you have 240-volt outlets. So your inlet's the other side. This is for if you want to run. You can run your TV off 240-volt, but actually you can run a bunch of other stuff.
Starlink?
If you want to hit. Starlink, yeah. Yep. And then this is a bit of a crap door.
Literally every.
Because it has
every video.
Crap canister, and it's a crap thing to talk about.
He's making the same crap jokes over and over and over and over.
Someone's talking crap.
Again.
It's my favorite joke, guys.
It's like you're vacuuming.
Yeah.
You ever done that before?
What?
Vacuum?
What is it?
Vacuum.
That's another joke that sucks.
Oh, that was a good one.
So this is a chemical toilet. About 20 litres. For a family, we'll do a day or a bit more, depending on how you're using it all. You just put a bit of chemical in, it does its thing. Pretty easy to use. You take it to the dump point, dump it out. We do have a massive range of compost toilets as well. So we can talk.
Massive, it's like 5.
We can talk crap when you're ready. So whichever toilet you want, we can do.
Yeah. Trevor's taken them home and tested them. In fact, one day.
I have tested all.
One day with the dry flush, and ask us about that, but he came into my office and he put a big black bag on my desk and he was like, I was like, oh, that's nice, what's that? And then it dawned on me, that's just a whole bag of your shit.
Yeah, and pee.
And wee-wees. Anyway, on that note.
So back of the van, we have 2 jerry can holders, which is great for extra water or fuel, depending on where you're going. If you're going to a very remote spot, you'll probably normally use that for fuel. Otherwise, 40 litres of extra water is pretty handy if you're staying somewhere for a little bit longer. Single spare, and it comes with a tyre repair kit standard now as well. So that's great. So a lot of the, if you have a flat tyre, it's often a puncture as opposed to a full blowout. So most of the time you'll probably be able to just repair the tyre.
But that's why you like the mud terrains though.
Yeah, so these are a mud terrain. The alternative is, so on your car normally you have road tyres. Then you can get an all-terrain tyre and then a mud terrain. So the mud terrain has a larger tread pattern in it. These are great. All terrains are good too. But these are great. They're very strong sidewall. So if you're going to go in those off kind of road locations, sharp rocks is a thing to deal with. And so the sidewall is really great for that. The other thing is you can drop a lot of tyre pressure out of these down to say 15 PSI if you're going to go through really soft sand or
which I watched
muddy spots.
on that last tough What's Up Down Under that tour.
Yep.
And I could see when you went in that sand. So he went on a dry riverbed, which upset a lot of people, which is great.
Because we camped in it, and you shouldn't camp in a dry river.
Not brave enough to, anyway. But you could really see how you could get that surface area when you were going through the sand to not get bogged.
Tyre pressure is a massive thing if you're going on sand. So pretty handy for that. So you can see the light is on. So that's a rear bar light. That is an option. You can choose to option that on the front and back if you wanted that.
But the camera's standard.
The camera is a Bluetooth camera, and that's standard. and you can have up to 4 of them. The rear one's standard. Don't need to wire it into your car anymore.
We've got a lot of really good standard stuff on our vans.
Yeah, the van is made as an off-grid van, super capable. You can add things to them, but ultimately it's got what you need to get out there.
And apologies, our new lights are on the next run of our vans, and
they're way cooler.
I mean, these are cool.
These are cool, but the other ones are way cool.
We're not talking you down, lights.
No,
okay.
Sorry, buddy.
But the new ones are pretty schnaz. So, drop down legs?
Yeah. So on all corners of the van, these come standard. Once again, not all brands.
Weird. I know, it's really weird. It's really weird. I'm just asking all you other manufacturers out there that you don't put drop down legs on your vans as a standard. What are you doing?
So these are to stabilize the van. Obviously, it has a bit of movement when you're in the van, and so the stabilizer legs will take a bit of weight to stop that movement and stabilize it.
So you don't get seasick.
Yeah, so massive difference on kind of how much movement in the van. So they're all standard.
If the vans are rocking, don't come and knocking.
Underneath the van on the chassis here, we have rear recovery points. So if you do get bogged, probably because you didn't have your tyre pressures low enough, or it's a really cool spot to get to, you can actually get pulled out van and car from the rear recovery points, and they are also standard. So this is a 2-bunk van. So you have the 2 windows. You can option to have a 3rd bunk. So you've got 3 kids or 2 kids and a dog, no problems. You can have a 3rd bunk. When you have 2 bunks as standard, you do get an extra external space here, which is fantastic. It's not so much needed now because you've got 2 full tunnel beds, but it is super handy to have. But when you have 3 bunks, you don't have that anymore. That's where a kid sleeps.
But this is great if you do have the 2 bunks. So all your camping stuff and your fun stuff and your play stuff, river stuff, tools and whatnot back here.
Oh yeah, yep.
Awesome. A place for everything, we like to say. We've got a gray water tank that we've optioned onto this van. This is not standard because look, I gotta say probably maybe 10% of the vans we would put a fixed gray water tank on anymore. Because we provide the portable gray water tank, you don't really need it. And we tend to find that our clients are really keen on having extra fresh water because they are going away, they're not staying in parks. And so for them, that real estate under the van is more valuable to have the fresh water because that's the first thing you'll typically run out of. And I gotta be honest with you, like water's pretty important. You kind of might die without it. So, but you can option one on, we can help you with that.
And so that's what, so this one here is a inlet, your mains water inlet. So if you're connected to water where you can connect in, you just plug it in there and run it like you would at home.
Turn your pump off. Stop calling us and saying you're having problems with your van when you haven't turned your pump off and you're plugged into mains. Not us, it's you. I've told you, you can't get mad now.
You're right, you're done?
Yeah. Just trying to help.
Otherwise, if you have your 2 tanks standard, they're 110 litres each, so it's 220 litres of water.
That's a lot of water.
It is quite good. A family will use a lot of water, so you maybe use 40, 50 litres a day. So that's going to get you 4 or 5 days. You could scrimp and save and be like Summer, where you shower once.
I knew it was coming.
You might shower once a month or so. But if you're like normal people and you shower often,
my skin stays so pretty.
On the showering, there is an external shower right here. And
so for when summer stinks.
Yep. Which is really handy at the beach because actually a lot of the time you're salty. So you jump out of the, like Summer, salty or sandy, so you can jump out and just have a quick rinse off, you know, and you can leave that out.
You can have a long rinse off if you want.
You have your inlet for power, so if you're connected to mains power, if you're at a caravan park, at home, whatever, you can connect in. If you're off-grid, you can connect your generator to that and just boost the charge on everything, and you have a safety switch there. This is your cover for your dual gas 240 volt hot water system, which, so if you're off-grid, you'll pretty much run that off gas. 28 litres.
You missed the vent for the fridge.
28 litres and takes about 15 minutes to heat up. So pretty quick to heat up, and the whole family will be able to have a shower with that.
You missed the vent for the fridge.
There's no vents for the fridge.
Is that why you missed it?
Yeah.
Do you miss it though?
We got rid of the...
We don't really miss it.
So normally you would have like pretty big vents about that large, you know. 2 of them for the fridge, which they have to have an external venting for that. That allows a lot of dust in. We're trying to do our best to remove where dust can ingress into the van. So now the fridges are internally vented, no need for the big vents on the outside. pretty awesome.
And just to be superficial as well, it doesn't look good having a bunch of shit on the side of your van.
Yeah, the smoother the better. Yeah, I think.
The smoother the better.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the other side of our tunnel boots, just to showcase again the space. And battery boxes. So our battery boxes are outside. Now some companies might have them inside, which I don't know.
You are allowed to have them inside, but
under certain regulations.
The compliance now says that they must be in a sealed battery box that is externally vented.
Trev, can you believe some people still don't do it properly? Like right now, today, as we speak, they're making vans that don't do that properly.
There's a bunch of them doing that. And the issue is with that is if you have a problem, you're actually not covered for insurance.
Yeah, so you really need to be looking into that, guys. So we don't cut corners. Well, Trev does when he's driving, but not like on the vans.
No, I did on that other van, I got it stuck. But
true, you did.
We don't cut corners when we're making stuff. So we have them outside. The reason that other companies don't have them outside is they're using batteries that aren't actually rated to be outside. So these batteries are from Baintech. They're amazing. They are what's used in fire trucks and ambulances, things like that. Great battery. We have 2 battery boxes and we have 1 battery. So 1 battery in its standard is 200 amp hours of lithium. The second battery box is empty and ready for you to upgrade. So if you ever in the future wanted to add more power, you can drop another battery in there and wire it in. It's really simple.
Very nice of us.
The reason we do that is often you'll probably think you need more power than you do, or maybe your budget's not there at the moment, but in a few years you do a bigger trip and you're ready with your budget, you can just add that battery into that box. Pretty cool. Maybe we can talk a little bit about the roof and underneath, and then we can head inside.
I think we did the roof. We did the flat roof.
So on the roof there's 400 watts of solar, 12 volt solar, so that's pretty good. Between that and the holding the stick. Between the solar and the battery, you pretty much got to run your van, as long as you're not under trees in the shade like this, you pretty much run the van, run the inside fridge, outside fridge, your lights, whatever.
And we'll go over the battery management system when we go inside as well.
Yeah, which is a Victron battery management system. So it's going to run everything as it needs to. Pretty much the thing you have to think about too much, which is great. And then underneath the van, let's jump under there. I'm going to
do the army roll underneath.
I'm going to show you this underneath the suspension. So now we're under the van and we're looking at the suspension. So this is called a independent suspension, which has got a rear trailing arm, which is this arm here, with 2 shock absorbers. The reason it has 2 shock absorbers is when you're going on corrugations, these are working really hard. And often if you're going like Give River Road or Great Central Road, any of these very long, we're talking about days of corrugations, these are working really hard. So having dual shocks to spread that heat and workload, it makes a massive difference on how long these are going to last, along with a spring here. So this takes into account all those corrugated roads and the larger lumps and bumps you do when you get off-road. You can upgrade to airbag suspension, which is pretty cool. From a corrugation site point of view, it's pretty similar, but when you get on site, you better just press some buttons and level off the van. You can kind of also see how neat underneath here is as well. Obviously a lot of plumbing running through, shower. This is for your shower to maintain the temperatures and things like that. Yeah, and the tanks are all protected with a steel bash plate as well. So yeah, certainly made for off-road use. Let's head inside. All right, so coming inside now, not only is it super spacious, but I have one of my little cherubs with me. Yeah, this is Alex.
Is that what you normally call them, cherubs?
Not behind the back, no.
Yeah. I thought it might be a nice idea if we let Alex talk about what he likes about the van, because he's been camping in it before. So yeah. I might pass the baton to this rad kid.
Cool.
And maybe let him take the lead.
Yeah, you want to tell us about what do you find for the van?
What do you like?
The bunks? Yeah, you want to show us the bunks?
Yeah, follow me. Yeah. My favorite thing with the bunks is this fan. Because we got 3 brothers, and they fart a lot, and I can blow their farts away with this. And then I like this bit because I can put all my books, and then with the light I can read at night time.
Awesome, matey.
And how big's the bunk? Do you remember how long the bunk is?
What happens when you lay down? Can you lay down on top of the covers?
Yeah.
And how old are you?
12.
So you're 12 and you got heaps of room at the end of your feet there.
Yeah.
Does it feel spacious enough?
Yes. Very spacious.
Have you got your own window? Are the windows hard to use, or are you able to do it on your own?
I can do it on my own really easily.
Awesome. All right. And then what about the toilet? Do you guys use the toilet much?
Yes.
Yeah. And does anyone do any stinky poos in there?
Yes, my brother.
Mostly Dad.
Nah. And because it's got a separate shower and toilet, do you smell it out here, or is it just normally kept in the bathroom?
Always kept in the bathroom.
Well, that's pretty good, isn't it? All right. Thanks. Anything else you want to show us?
Mm-hmm.
No? All right, cool. Well, you can hang it up there. I'm going to grab this back for summer. And we'll go through the rest of the van. So,
What a champ.
what a champ. Thank
What
you,
a
Alex.
champ.
So at the front of the van, we've got the full length bed. So it's a queen width, but like a king length. What I really like about this, you can, if you wanted, you can option this to have a wardrobe. You can have a wardrobe with a little walk around here. That's how we used to have the model as a standard. Now this is standard. And the reason for that is I'm not that tall, you know, like 7'4".
Yeah, 7. I thought it was 7'3".
Yeah. No, I'm probably like 5'9".
God.
So when I lay down,
Messing
my
up the bedding.
my feet
Bedding
would
by
be.
Neander Wild. Beautiful, but what?
Are you done?
Yeah.
My feet would be just almost touching the wardrobe. So if I moved during the night, my feet would just scrape and kind of wake me up. So I prefer the longer bed, and I'm not that tall. So if you're taller than I am, which is probably most men, you'll probably prefer this bed, which is standard, super comfortable, lots of overhead storage above the bed.
But I mean, your average height. And I think the nice thing about this is if you are, you know, if Kath is here, and Trev needs to get up.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite thing. I'm like, hey honey, I'm going to the toilet. Not her favorite.
No, but he can go around the end of the bed and hop off without bothering.
No
him.
way.
But I think he can if he wanted to.
I have to go over the middle bit. It's great having two windows. In summer, we'll have a good cross breeze across
And a big
the van.
overhead hatch.
Nice overhead hatch, and all the windows and overhead hatches have got a blind and a fly screen.
And they're double glazed.
Double
the fans
glazed,
are standard at the bunks and the main bed as well. So another just more standard features that we throw at you. And you can see with the flat one-piece composite roof as well, we provided you with more overhead storage space because you don't have that front dip down as well.
Oh, for a little van, you do not go wanting for storage.
But
this
doesn't feel like a little van.
Yeah, no way.
So telescopic table drop down here. You can make this into another little bed with a table inlay cushion or a tick if you'd like. Yeah, swings out, swings around. This is nice.
This is a great size table because you have, what happens with the kitchen is if you're going to cook inside, and most of the time you'll probably cook outside, but when you go to cook inside, actually you end up with less bench space than what it looks like when you're using this cooktop. So between the bench top and the table, you do have an ample amount of
prep
space. Yep.
Now, standard on the vans is the 3 gas, 1 electric cooktop with a mini grill below. On this van, we've showcased that you can have the full oven if you'd like. As a standard, you'd normally have a pot drawer where the oven is.
So this section here would normally be a pot drawer, and that would stay the same. That's that bit there standard. This bit is an option, and then underneath it, you also have a little bit more storage in there, which is great.
Yep. Under the sink, lots of cupboard space there. Very neat, very tidy. And our drawers, they are soft close drawers, just like you have at home. Those rectangular handles, the nice thing about them is when you push the button close, you know that it's locked in. So before you hop off onto your journey and hitch the van up, you know that the drawers are locked in. Metal sided, they're very sturdy.
Yeah, so on that, when you go off-road, the corrugations is what really kills the vans. Just the
Or Trevor's driving.
just the constant repetitive vibrations that come through the van. A lot of it, what happens is the screws work their way out of timber just because of the amount of vibrations happening. So normally on a drawer, you have the drawer runners along the side of the timber and into the side of the cabinetry. These drawers, the drawer runners are actually underneath the cabinet, integrated into the metal side, so there's nothing that can come loose on that. And then on the inside of it, they're supported from the bottom and the side of the cabinet, so nothing really there to maintain. And then the soft close will actually hold the weight, because when you're driving, all the weight of that drawer is trying to come out. So the soft close is actually there to hold the weight of the drawer close as well as the latch. And then all the cabinetry itself which we design in 3D in-house, is actually, it's like a big puzzle piece. It's all interlocking, so that way the cabinet's actually held together with a puzzle, and then the screws are just holding it together. They're not relying on the screws to hold everything in place.
Essentially what that means for you, the what's in it for you is, it's just one less thing that you have to worry about, because we've thought about the things that can be difficult and can go wrong, and we went, oh, well, we can make that better. And so we did.
Under the seat near Summer's amazing socks, you can see there's a couple of black circles. One's the
ones under my eyes?
Yeah.
No.
These are for the diesel heater. So one's an inlet, one's an outlet. So your warm air is going to come straight from under there and warm up the whole van. The controls for it is up on the side here. So you can basically just set your temperature and leave it. You do have on the roof here or ceiling a aircon and heater. So you can use this if you're connected to power or running your generator, or if you wanted to option an inverter, you can option on an inverter and run this off your batteries. But actually, this produces a lot of heat, and for a small van, actually you can't just leave it on because you get too hot.
Yeah.
Whereas a diesel heater, you almost don't hear it. It's the smallest sound of a fan. You can leave it on all night, set it on whatever you want, 10, 11, 12 degrees, so it's not so warm that you want to turn it off.
And it's got a remote as well.
But yeah, you can do it with a remote off your bed. So really handy unit there. Yeah, you got your microwave up the top, if we didn't say that already. You've got your hot and cold sink. You can add, if you wanted to, a filtered tap. If you wanted to, make the water a bit more drinkable.
What about our fridge? We've done something nice with our fridges as well.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. So this is a Thetford fridge, around 150 litre capacity. So it's a really good size for a family.
Especially when you couple that with the space outside
the
fridge and the slide out.
Once you add the two fridges together, you've got so much storage. So great little vegetable drawer down the bottom, and then a freezer up top. If you're vegan like we are, you'll probably want more freezer than what this is on a long trip away. Weekends and weeks, no problems, but if you're going to go away for months, you're probably going to want to have a fridge freezer in the front, not just a fridge.
Or if you're not vegan, you might just have a bunch of meat in there.
I'm kidding, you guys can be gross.
And what's great about the fridge now that we've gone to with the...
You tell me.
Well, the Thetford, it's a ventless compressor fridge.
Internally vented.
Yeah, internally vented, thank you. So like we discussed outside, we don't have the vents externally in the fridge, which means less dust ingress. The other nice thing, which is with the matte, I just like the matte finish on the fridge. It doesn't fall apart.
Well, the other thing is that, so the other fridges Summer's talking about, they have actually a metal sheet in here.
We won't name names.
They have a metal sheet in it. It's the Dometic fridge.
He's going to name names.
Dometic makes some good products, but the fridge...
They do.
The fridge with the metal sheet on the front, it breaks the clips. When you go on lots of corrugated roads, on roads, no problems, you'll be fine. But when you go on corrugated, really remote spots, what happens is the vibrations attack the metal sheet and it breaks the clips on the bottom, and then you get to your destination and the fridge's front is not on it anymore. So the Thetford doesn't have that at all. You won't have a fridge door come apart, which is great.
So we've spoken, well, Alex did a great job talking about the bunks. We've got lots of storage back there as well. So as Trev mentioned outside, if you have a turbo bunk, you don't have the bottom storage, but...
There is storage under the fridge.
Yeah.
Because we moved we have the pumps mounted underneath in a particular case.
Ooh, good segue. Tell them about the pump being, the benefit of that being outside.
I just did. So
yeah, but why is it good though?
So you have more space,
It's not
Summer.
just space.
And they're a bit quieter. So we already use a good quality pump that are quiet, but it's just, one less noise inside as well. So as we said, 2 bunks, 3 bunks. 2 bunks, you get drawers, 2 great sized drawers under here. If you have a 3rd bunk, no drawers. That is where kids can sleep.
It's the blessing of a 3rd child.
Maybe if you have a little baby, you could keep the 2 bunks in one drawer. But it wouldn't last very long. They get bigger. At the back of the van, this is really good. So a lot of the 18-foot bunk vans you'll see, they don't have this rear center row. So you have hanging and shelves, or you can have all shelves or all hanging. This is a pretty good setup, and then with the 3 large drawers underneath. So this will pretty much fit all your kids' clothes, towels, jackets, whatever.
Blankets.
Yeah. This, and I know that because we've taken 3 kids away and we do use it all. So it's a really good usable storage there. And then in here, you want to show them through this, Summer?
I can if you'd like.
In here is our
Do you want to swap spaces
separate
so you can
shower
catch
and
up on Candy
toilet.
Crush?
Yeah. I'll do work over here, yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure. So our ensuite, we've got a lot of space in here. So again, for a compact van, you're not having to shit where you shower, which is, I mean, again, if you like, that's your thing, no judging on your kinks or whatever, but I like that you have that separate space, plus plenty of room to get ready. So under bench, lots of storage space, the nice shelving here. It's just a really clean spot. Overhead, we've got lots of storage, ventilation, and quite a spacious shower. So I'm gonna step inside just because I think people, for reference, want to see like actually how much room that you have in here. And I don't know, I think it's a really good spot. So the acrylic doors are very lightweight, and why we like that is it's not hard on the frame. Good for soundproofing, looks nice. Looks clean. What level are you on now? Oh, he just hit his phone. What level are you on?
I don't know what she's talking about.
Okay, well, we'll talk about something that Trev knows about, which is the battery management system. So he's going to tell you about our Victron battery management system and why we like it and why you are going to like it too.
So often you'll see in a cupboard like this, kind of charger and stuff like that. So this cupboard's pretty usable now, whereas before you couldn't use it for anything. So you got your pump, water pump, hot water, and electric or gas hot water switches. And then you got some resettable fuses up here. The reason that it doesn't have the battery management system in there is because now it's under the seat. It's all Victron. We'll see if we can add some B-roll footage in here, because it's got a 120 amp hour charger, which means that if you've got a 200 amp hour battery, in an hour and 40 minutes, you're fully charged. So it's a massive charge, whereas the old chargers used to be up in here. We used to use a BM Pro one that was 35 amp hours. That's
a massive increase that we've done.
Yeah.
We have a saying in our office, like you've heard Fig Jam, ours is Fig Yay. You're good, just ask you.
That's because Summer just thinks she's really
No,
good.
You're good, ask you. I'm telling you. As in us. It's a group thing. It's a group effort. Anyway, the Victron battery management system, it's a dual charge as well.
So yeah, well, so it'll charge from your car and your solar at the same time, or it'll charge from your generator or mains power and solar. So
bonus.
It will pick up a lot of power at the same time. This is the screen you have. It's super easy to see what's happening. There's a couple of screens I'll flick through. But basically it'll say what AC is coming in, AC being 240 volt connected or generator. Obviously we're not connected, we're off grid, so it's not showing anything. AC loads, how much 240 power we're using. We're not connected and we don't have an inverter in this van, so it's not using anything. PV charger is saying what solar we've got. We've got 17 watts of solar coming in and we're fully under trees. So I'm actually surprised we've got anything coming in.
So am I.
17's not a lot, but hey, it's something. Then under here it says DC power. This is what we're using. So we've got all the lights on to show you guys how fancy the vans are. So we're using 158 watts. So we can pretty quickly see we're using more power than we're bringing in. And we've got 72% of power left in our batteries. We can scroll through the screens to see what else there is. This one's showing the same things we just seen, except it's also showing our water tank. So we see 66% and 55% water left. And our wastewater tank, our grey water, we don't have anything in. If we had an inverter in here, which you can option if you want, you just hit the button and you can turn your inverter on. Like you don't have to do anything else. That's how easy it is to go, I want to use the aircon, touch the button, turn your aircon on and you're running, touch a button and the inverter will go off. So really, really simple. You can see just your tanks as well. So it's quite a simple screen and very easy to understand your power in and power out. So you're not going to be worrying about how much power you've got to run something. You can really clearly see it.
So like in a wrap up, this van is for the real camp savvy family that's really adventurous, wants to go to the really cool spots, still wants the creature comforts so that you can have that when, well, it's a want. But you're not going to compromise on anything, and you've thought about the tech, you've done your deep dive, you know what you want, you know you don't want to compromise on quality, on build, you know that it's built in Melbourne by people that caravan, by people that care about caravanning as well. People that have used this van, Trev, Alex, the rest of the family. It's basically, if you're looking for a really compact, everything you need package, and you still want a badass van, the Scout is that compact, badass van that honestly, in the market, if you look and compare what you get and what we provide for what else is out there on the marketplace and quality, I think you're gonna be calling us. I'll be surprised if you don't.
I've just remembered one more thing when you were rambling on. Is the floor actually...
It's flat.
It's like the earth.
It's level.
It's the same as the earth. It's flat. So what's great about the floor, we have a couple of styles. So I'm not talking about the style here. I'm actually talking about not summer socks. This is actually a stain-proof floor. So if you spill, so for us, if we get red dust in here, because we love going out back, or if you're someone you spill red wine because she's a drunk.
It's a bit harsh.
Then actually you can clean it off. So when she gets back from her trip, we can't tell.
No, except for the bottles that are clanking that are in the oven.
So even little things like that.
Trevor drives me to drink.
So even little things like that, that comes from usability and knowing what's going to make your trip better, and keep the van looking this good for longer. So
it is a good looking van.
Yeah. So give us a call or come out. We can happy to show you through the manufacturing and everything as well.
Yeah, walk it to the factory.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Peace.
Boom. Scout. Oh God, he's so bad at this. Bye.